To Vancouver Island, yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment we're sailing on the Pacific Ocean on our way to Vancouver Island, a pretty big island I didn't even know exists.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's 500 kilometers long and 150 kilometers wide. And it should have pretty nice nature, and the best thing it has mountains. And the even better thing, the weather forecast promised 3 meters of snow, so it's out to be a pretty good trip.
Vancouver that way and Vancouver Island 1.5 hours out from Vancouver. Sitting here on a boat, I realized that there is absolutely nothing I know about Vancouver Island. I feel like a young boy standing right in front of a huge question. What is this going to be like? The only thing I can see at this time is this massive island closing in front of me. You either live your dream or you die with your dream. We are 3 passionate free-skiers on a search for our personal Shangri-La, the place with the perfect snow and the flawless ambience. To find it, we live out of our bags, travel constantly, sacrifice our comfort and find ourselves sometimes in strange places. Who knows whether we'll find what we're searching for, but who cares? Whatever happens, we are living our dream. The perfect spot might be just around the corner. We arrived to Nanaimo at twilight and darkness comes fast this time of the year. We arrive with no further plans and we just end up driving towards the north where our contact Pasha is supposed to live. It feels like Christmas when snowflakes suddenly start to appear in the glow of the headlights as we pass the sign of Mount Washington and decide to continue in that direction. Extempore trip to Mount Washington.
Yeah. Looks like there's a lot of snow, still snowing. I don't know, look promising.
Been staying in these motels, and one before the last one was really hot. The last one was super cold, so we weren't able to dry our stuff. But now it's warm here, so we get to dry our ski boots and our clothes and everything, so it's pretty good. Hopefully tomorrow it's gonna be one more powder day for us.
To stand on top of an unknown snowpack is one of the most unpleasant feelings I know. And therefore, to learn more about the current conditions, we go and meet James Parsival, the head of the ski patrol.
How's the snowpack usually here in this area?
Well, it's a coastal snowpack, right? So we have pretty good stability. We get large amounts of snow. And most of our instabilities are new snow instabilities. So it's usually within a 24 to 36 hour period after we have a big storm that those stabilities are there. The stabilities don't linger as long because of the amount of snow. The weight of that snow does usually compress out some of those instabilities. It is coastal, right? So it is mild. Yeah. And with it being mild, that also allows for the snow to settle and stabilize much quicker than when it's minus 40. For instance, in the Rockies. We received a little over 60 centimeters in the last 36 hours. And so yesterday it warmed up quite a bit, and so we had quite an instability. We had a lot of big avalanches coming off our slopes. We didn't open our terrain. We decided to hold off on opening that terrain because we knew we would just cause lots of avalanches and have debris everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Beautiful terrain, a lot of stuff to ski. You can go like almost every peak and ski down, so it's really cool. Snow, it could be really bad, but it could be some, like today it's not that great, but it's still good, like fast.
I really like Mount Washington. A lot of steep tree runs. Actually not that many people, although the back country got tracked in like 2 hours. But it's good for resorts in Canada and US, because usually they get tracked in 1 hour.
We continue our journey along the main road of Vancouver Island. Up north, there is an old Finnish community from times past. As traveling Finns, this is of course a must-see place for us. Before heading up, we are supposed to meet our contact Pasha. But right now, before we move anywhere, we take a deep breath and admire the view.
Is this Canada or what? To me, this represents the true Canadian soul. Lumberjacks, logs floating in the sea. At the moment, I feel truly happy.
I really like that you can go to winter, you can hop straight, well not here to summer, but spring anyway. It's warm, scenery is just amazing, and up on the mountain, snow is good, here is warm, you actually can go surfing here. You can see some bull-headed eagles. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place.
It's time to meet Pasha, an old fisherman from Sointula.
Pasha, what's happening?
I'm going to Sointula. I'm going home. I'm going home.
So where are we coming?
Coming to Sointula. It's like a Finland in the middle of Canada. So we're kind of back home.
The Pasha, what's up?
Oh, I'm at home. This is where I grew up. Yeah,
Feel like home.
yeah, I'm home. Sointula. But I see my father's not home, so maybe we should go somewhere else.
Sointula is an isolated village on Malcolm Island. The name of Sointula means place of harmony. It was established by a group of Finnish settlers in 1901 after rowing north from Nanaimo. The plan was to set up an utopian socialist society known as the Kalevan Kansa. It was physically hard life, and finally after financial difficulties, Kalevan Kansa was disbanded. Many of the community members remained on the island, as have their descendants. The town remained and prospered well into the 1970s as an unusually vibrant resource-based settlement. Fishing and lodging activities have been the mainstay for the community. In recent decades, declining forestry and fishing industries have hit Sointula hard. Its population has shrunk, and by driving around you can see that time no longer exists in Sointula.
Yeah, Pasha's friend Lenny is gonna take us out fishing. I don't know, we're gonna go jigging. I think it's gonna be a little different jigging than what we have in Finland, but at least it's pretty cool to go out. Things changed. The weather is so bad out there, so can't go jigging, but we have some crab traps. We're gonna put those there.
Mä ennen nuottasin täällä, mutta nyt mä verkottelen, kun ne säännöt vähän muuta niin, että ei se nuottaus oikein mulle passannut. Ne on vähän liian pieni nuottapaatiksi, mutta kyllä mä sen kanssa pärjäsin hyvin. Mutta...
Mitä kaloja on sitten?
No täällä on kaiken näköisiä pohjakaloja, erilaisia ne turskia, mutta lohiakin, niitä on 6 eri laatua lohta.
Joo.
Joo. Silliä täällä on sitten aika paljon, sillikalastusta. Joo, jos haluaa tuunaa, niin pitää mennä sinä kaukaa sinne maista. Hyvä lohisyötti!
Yeah, it was probably the fastest fishing trip I've ever had, even though I don't do that much fishing. 10 minutes, 2 traps to the sea, and that's it. Now we're heading back.
Rafa, how did you enjoy your fishing?
I'm enjoying always. It could be like this, and then it could be, you know, like skiing. It could be 1 run, or it could be 1,000 runs. So, ryppy. Sisälle Pirtti, täällä on nyt huikka, välihuikka.
Rum and hot water.
Yeah. Rommi toti.
Fisherman's friend.
Yeah.
Sometimes the enemy. Nukahtaa ruoriin ja ajaa kiventä. And we have a problem here now with fish farms. I guess you've heard about that.
Yeah.
The Norwegians that come here because they can't farm their fish in their own country because it's against the law, so they come here. Our laws here are very lenient. They can almost do what they want, and it's creating some problems with our wild salmon. So, the Norwegians are a problem. They sell more farmed salmon than there is wild salmon. They had a big operation in Chile. Well, they're all over the world. Kind of a complicated business if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, we came to get some Dungeness crabs, and let's go and see what's going on.
They're lively today, huh?
Lively. Lively.
Not no more.
Not anymore.
Kind of reminds me of the old movie Starship Troopers.
This is how you do it when you live next to the sea and you're a fisherman. You just come to the pier, grab your Dungeness, kill them, and then go home and eat them.
After our time on the ocean, we get an invitation to cook the Dungeness. While having dinner, Travis, master of the house, tells us about the life on the island.
We had some Dungeness crab in San Francisco, and now we have the fresh one. It's so good. With the garlic water. This is amazing.
So this is the utopia.
This is it, yeah. And it was more of a better utopia back then, for sure. I mean, it was more of a family, you know, like we used to have Christmas dinners with 3 different families, and there was, 80 people there. And, just stuff like that doesn't happen anymore, but, everyone's trying to get back to those roots still, though, right? Like, even as a kid when I was growing up, all the old Finnish people, like my grandparents, their yards were, the white picket fence and beautiful gardens. Like, they really took care of everything they had. And now, it's, I guess I shouldn't say that, but yeah, it's kind of just falling apart now. I know it's just, everyone's just struggling to survive again, but hopefully it'll be that way again.
Snow starts to fall on Vancouver Island, and it's time for us to move towards the storm. Clouds rolling in are looking furious, and temperature is rapidly falling. At the northern part of the island, there is a small ski center which sounds promising.
It's 5 o'clock. Light is still on, 3 hours. We don't know where we're gonna sleep. It's outside, it's pretty cold, 5 meters snow. And food scene, it's like we have some raw potatoes and raw pasta and raw meat and nothing to cook, so this is the cool life with the traveler.
Arto's worrying is out of place, since a happy traveler is almost always welcome to crash somewhere. Here we are welcome to Douglas and his brother's place. Warmth and food was greeting us.
Life at Mount Cain, simple. Quiet, slow, think about the important things, skiing powder, being with your friends and family. I think it was the late 70s they opened the first lift. Originally it was just a tow rope in the West Bowl. A bunch of loggers had come up and thrown it up there just so they could come up and enjoy the skiing. And then the next year they built the lower lift here and have just kind of been adding onto it, and we've been building cabins. There's 52 cabins up here now, and I think the spirit hasn't really changed, but the mountain's probably a little more developed. So it's all run on volunteer labor. There's a few people that are paid. The lifties are paid, and a couple of key positions, the groomer, that sort of stuff, are paid. But everybody else, ski patrol is volunteer, and you know, all the maintenance and stuff is generally done by volunteers. And the hill runs at, you know, not at a profit at all. We just put the proceeds back into the mountain and you know, save up for the years when we don't have snow like this, so we can still open. And yeah, it's a model that's worked out pretty well. It's nice to come up to a place and not feel like you're getting ripped off to ski for the day. I think you get to see a little more like real Canada here. If you go to Whistler, you know, it doesn't really feel like you're seeing a part of Canada. It feels more like you're seeing a part of commercialism. Not to say that's not Canadian in any way, but this is definitely a different perspective on Canada.
The storm settles and dawn reveals a beautiful white mountain. Since we are in the middle of nowhere, there are just a handful of skiers trashing the backcountry. The place suits just perfectly for us. With a bit of effort, we can ski as much fresh snow as we can. Oh, what a bliss!
That's powder delirium. It's been an extra special year, without a doubt. This is probably the second highest snowpack that I can remember for the last while. For the last 10 years or so, this has been one of our best snow years.
How's your day been?
Like the guy said, let's get the hell out of here and go for some beers.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
What I said earlier about time not existing in Sointula, it goes here at Mount Cain as well. Day turns into night and back to day again. Only things you think about is eating and skiing, fresh snow and stars on the nightly sky. What a perfect way to spend the winter. Here you live as one with Mother Nature. Wolverines, crows, elks and whatnots. Skiing and sleeping. The past 2 weeks have been amazing. During these days I feel like I've seen a lot. Landscape, wilderness, remoteness, new friends and happiness. Now I can look at the island with new eyes. What I was looking at with a big question on my face gives me fulfillment at the moment. These are the moments that make traveling worthwhile. At the same time, as you see things outside yourself, you realize things inside you, like I do now. At the moment, I definitely feel that I'm at this place, on this very shoreline, no place else. There is no time else than this moment. I feel alive.